Gonna put you on the spot.
Oh,
Do
it's
you think
hot.
Doug Peterson?
boy.
Do you think Doug Peterson should be?
It's hot.
Do you think Doug Peterson should be coach of the year?
Oh,
And
no,
if
it's
he
fun.
gets-
I mean, I think so. I
If he
think
gets consideration, why do you think he should get consideration?
I think just what do we got? I think Coach 100% should be in the conversation and could win the award. I mean, you look at what he's done here and just the energy, not only the X's and O's, the football stuff, but just the energy, the culture that we've created here. That really, obviously, he's had a huge part in bringing here. I mean, that's it's tough to do, especially in the first year and a bunch of new people. And I mean, I just can't say enough about the job he's done and how much I love playing for him and appreciate him. So, 100%, I think he should be in that conversation.
And then Saturday night, real quick, do you think it's going to be maybe a little bit of a carbon copy a few weeks ago where they're going to load up against the run and make you beat them, or is it tough to know what to expect because they've had so many injuries?
Yeah, I mean it's tough. Exactly, like you don't really know exactly what they're going to do, and I think especially when you're playing a team for the second time, a division opponent, the second time you play them, usually there's some adjustments. There's things so. You go off of the tape that you have and kind of what you put together and what you think is a good plan, and you make adjustments as the game goes on. I would think that they're a team that's really, really good at stopping the run anyways without loading the box. They have a really good front seven. So, that's something where I don't know exactly what they're going to do. It's hard to say. So we'll just have to see what they do and adjust, but definitely got a challenge for us. I know they'll have some guys back and some other guys in there. So we'll just have to see who suits up on Sunday, and no matter who it is, we just have to execute on our end. That's the biggest thing. But yeah.
I know you've played the games the last several weeks have been big games, but this is like the biggest one, obviously. Does it feel good for you to be playing in these kind of games again, like back in Clemson, like it was back then, a night game, everyone watching, that kind of thing?
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good knowing what we had to do to get here, but also job's not finished. We have to win this game to get in, and then moving forward, we kind of get what we earn every week. So, we're embracing that. I think that's kind of how it's been for us. Like I said before, it's been like that for us for the past month, really. So, the team's responded well to that, and I'm proud of the situation we put ourselves in. It wasn't easy to get in this spot, especially the way we started the season, and here we are with an opportunity to win the division. And this is the only game that matters right now, and we're just putting everything we have into just scoring one more point than them. That's all that matters, is winning the game. So that's what we're focusing on. And like you said, it feels good to be in a big time game like this. Just the city has a lot of energy and everybody's excited. So we're excited for that. But at the end of the day, it's you can't make it bigger than it is. We still got to go out there and execute and play well.
You gave your offensive line watches. So like, how do you determine what you're going to get every year? Like when you do that, does like someone go, hey, it's gonna be great, we got watches or whatever? Or
no, you kind of like. You think about things, like I try to think about it a little bit before, in the season it's crazy. So we, try to think about what would they like. You can't, there's so many of them too. Like you can't go too crazy, but also you can't get them like some flip-flops or something. You got to get them because especially the job they've done this year, they've done a great job protecting me. So either way, I'd get them something nice, but they've done a great job. So, but yeah, last year I think I got them golf clubs, something they can use. I try to get them something that everybody would like, no matter who you are. Like they're all different. So like a watch, everybody could use a nice watch. Golf clubs. I mean, maybe a few guys don't golf, but everyone probably goes out at some point. Get invited somewhere to play or whatever. So, you can't win them all. But I think they liked it. So it's good.
Whose reaction was the best from the watch?
The guys loved it. I think Shatley was good. Barch is always his reactions are always great. So he was pumped up. And Coy Cronk is a surprising one maybe for you guys, but his reaction was good too. So.
I expect it. Doug said on Good Morning Football this morning that yesterday was a really tough day for you guys, that you guys really met, as a group. I think one thing that, we've kind of talked about, I know as media members, is like all the quote-unquote healing that Doug talked about in the spring that you guys did, and then the trust that you guys built during that 5-game losing streak. How critical was that then in having the tough conversations following the tragedy on Monday night?
Yeah, obviously, just speaking on that, I think it's scary for everybody to see that, and you just hate that something like this happens to someone, especially a guy like DeMar, a guy I played against in college, I think twice. So just a tragedy, obviously. So obviously our prayers and our thoughts are with him and his family, and it's scary for us that play the game and even like coaches and everyone that has played the game, and even people like you, the stadium full of people that had, that witnessed that. And it's scary. It really puts things into perspective. And I think that's the main thing. It puts it into perspective, and life is fragile, and you just never know what could happen. And it is scary. So I think, but just like you asked about, just our group being close, I think that helps when you go through things like this. Coach talked about, even talked about his brother passing away last year, and just what got him through it was the people around him. And that's kind of how we look at it, is when things happen like this, you just rally around each other, and you just you seek that comfort of the people around you, whether that's family, friends. And luckily here we have a bunch of teammates and coaches that care about you and that are in this with you. And definitely a tough situation. I think everyone that is involved anyway in football, and even if you're not, is feeling what happened on Monday. So definitely not an easy thing. But yeah, I think that relationship part of it is huge when dealing with something like that. I mean, that's really never been something that people have had to deal with before. So even that is, but still, yeah, definitely the relationships you appreciate, and makes you realize how much you appreciate those people around you too, because you just never know what could happen. And yeah.
Is this group, like the togetherness of this group, when you look at it now, week 18, you look back at the journey you guys have taken? I know Doug always talked about the journey. Is how connected this group is together, is that different than other groups you've been a part of? Like, is it extra special, this one, for whatever the reason?
I really do think it is. I've been on a lot of teams, obviously only 2 in the NFL, but just, the way this group has gotten tighter and tighter, regardless of the circumstances, whether it's adversity or winning, whatever it is. I think just the way we've gotten closer and closer, and really have kept our focus the whole season, has been impressive. And just, it's somewhere where I think everyone can say they love coming to work every day, love being around each other. The coaches, Coach McCoy, Doug, Press, just everybody. We love being around each other. We're appreciative of each other, and I think that's something that we recognize too, and all the work that goes into it. And it's nice to see some benefits from it, and to be in the position we are this week. But yeah, it's a really fun group, and it's just been fun to get to work with them every day.
Did you feel like this team had something, even after the horrible October, because of the way you handled October? Because it just didn't seem like 0-5 created any kind of fracture, any kind of discontent. Frustration, sure, but
yeah,
it just seemed like you guys handled it the right way.
Yeah, I mean, I always thought this group was really, really good, just obviously like on the field with talent-wise, but also just the way we work, just how resilient everyone is. And that was really tested earlier in the year, after those games without a win, whatever, five game losing streak, and nobody panicked, nobody pointed to the finger. And I think that's something where, and we talked about it too after probably 3 or 4 of those games. Just this is where a lot of teams start to divide, and you start pointing the finger, and people start looking for ways out. And we never did that. We knew how close we were. You look at all those games, 1-score games, and really just a lot of them, it was our own mistakes where we gave away the game. So we knew how close we were, and that rock would eventually break, and it did. And I think that's a testament to just the consistency and the work we put in. It doesn't always show right away, but eventually it will. So yeah, I think you're right.
Do you think that was also a reflection of the mindset and the messaging from Doug as well?
100%. It starts from the top down. If you're not aligned with what your leader's saying, it's kind of hard to go somewhere. It's hard to go far, especially. So the leadership that he's brought, and just the consistency. I've said that before. Just he's the same person every day, whether we won or lost. We lost 5 in a row. We've won however many in a row. He's the same way every day, and I think that's something that we've all rallied behind, and we've kind of adopted that as players. We're just go, put the work in, trust your process, show up, play on Sunday, and that's all you can do. And that's what we've done every week, and got ourselves in a good position.
What kind of a role has Marvin Jones played in helping you kind of figure out what the league's supposed to be like, what the league's supposed to look like, and kind of how to be a pro maybe?
Yeah, and Marvin, we're really close. Obviously, spending 2 years together now, and just have a lot of experiences from last season too to draw from. That are like we got close. We sat by each other on the plane from plane ride home on all those away games last year, and I sit by CJ this year. But we had a lot of conversations, and just talking to him, a guy with that much experience, that's played that much football, seen a lot of things. It's kind of invaluable, just all the things that you can learn from him, and then just the experience too for the receiver room. Now you have some younger guys, and then you bring in Christian and Zay and all those guys, and how they work together and communicate and talk. And he's a guy that's just that I've always trusted, especially on the field and off the field, obviously too. But just a guy that I've had a lot of trust in since really day one last year. We've built that relationship, and I think that shows. Kind of, he's my security blanket. When all else fails, Marvin's always there and making the play.
Back to Doug a little bit. When he first got here, he obviously won a Super Bowl not too long ago. Did that, give him some instant credibility, instant trust from you gues, or is there still a little bit of awareness and having to get used to him a little bit before you really kind of all bought in, I guess?
I think, there's not really. I mean, I think everyone really bought in pretty quick, but I do think that he did a good job of, just because, we all really respect that, and I think that's obviously something that is easy to respect as someone that's won a Super Bowl, especially recently, won one as a coach and as a player. So you respect that. He knows how to do it. He's been there before, but also, he never assumed anything about that. He earned the respect from us by the way he came in every day, was consistent. He really started from the ground up. He didn't come in talking about his Super Bowl. That's not how he addressed us and how he started off that relationship. He came in talking about, what our culture was going to be, what we needed to do to get to where we want to be, all those things, and just took it step by step. And obviously, everyone knows he's won a Super Bowl. He doesn't really have to. He doesn't have to say it. So I think that's something, you don't really have to say when you've done something like that. Everyone knows it and respects it, and that's not really something that he's used a ton. But he has said, some similarities of what great teams have, because he's been on some great teams. So he talks about a lot of that, but he's done a great job.
I asked Doug this on Monday, so I'll ask you, what's more difficult, managing last week, what many were calling a meaningless game and preparing for that, versus preparing for a game this week where everyone is saying it's arguably the biggest game in regular season history for this franchise?
I think it's the same. It really is. I mean, to us, last week's game wasn't meaningless. I think you see the way we played and controlled the game. But obviously, we've known that this game was coming for a while, and that this is where we wanted to be. Week 18. Coach Peterson said it a few weeks ago. He's like, I got a crystal ball. This thing's gonna come down to week 18, and we're gonna have a shot. And we jumped on board. We believed it. We kept putting in the work, and look, we're here now. So we've known this was coming, but we had to take care of business every week to get here, and that's the same thing this week. We have to stay in the moment. We have to do what we've been doing, prepare the same way, put together a great game plan. You got to know it, obviously, and then go out and play the game. And that's what we've been able to do, and we've been able to execute. And the same things that won the other ones are going to win this one. We just got to play well and out-execute them. So.
Good.
David can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think 38 of you guys, 53-man roster, hasn't been in a playoff game. How important have some of those veteran voices like Marvin and Brandon, guys who have been in this situation before, how important have they been this week?
I just think that experience of them playing for so many years, they've been through so many seasons, whether it's playoffs or whatever. The same thing is we have a lot of even keel, level-headed guys that no matter the occasion, they're and too, I'll say first of all, guys like them and Marv, they rise to the occasion. That's when they play their best, when the game's on the line. You've seen that with Marvin just throughout this year and in the past and in his career too. But same thing with Brandon. But that's because they're the same guy. They're level-headed. They don't get too high or too low no matter the moment. And I think all of us, younger players and especially rookies this year, we can all learn from guys like that have had a bunch of success in their career and have played really well in big moments. So.
You were only 3 months old when the Jaguars played the Titans in the '99 AFC Championship game. How much do you really know much, even anything about that game or the heartbreak that it caused for the older members of the fan base?
What year was that?
99.
99? Oh, I was
January 2000.
2000. I was 3 months old. Yeah. Don't remember watching that one. No, I don't. I don't know. Wasn't familiar with that game, so I need to go do some research. I'll look it up though, Gene. Thank you. Appreciate it. Awesome. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
Thank you.